What's up YouTube? So today I'm going to show you a way that I found to add multiple worlds into your server and how to get between them and how to make an instance mod so that that world can just be an instance. Um, and yeah, so let's get started. Um, and what you're gonna need for this video is a server. So um, if you haven't made a server, go ahead and make one. And then once you have that, and you go into mods, and what you're gonna do, I already have a mod created, but you're just gonna create a mod through the asset editor, um, the asset editor in game, um, and it'll look kind of like this. Uh, Probably without the server common, you can just create these. It's case sensitive, so make sure each folder is named properly. The one you really need is the server folder here. Inside server folder, you're gonna make instances folder. Inside that is where your instance world uh, folder is gonna go. So what you're gonna want to do is go back to Hightail, and let's say there's a world that you really like. You created a custom map for it. Maybe it's a PvP world map, maybe it's a SMP, maybe it can be whatever you want really. Um, and you're like, okay, I want that world on my server, but I kind of already have a world, and I don't want that to be deleted. What you can do is come in here, go to edit, open folder. Like, let's say this is the world that you want to save. You're gonna come in here, edit, open folder, um, and it's gonna open something like this, or no, it's gonna open something. It's gonna open this one. Um, and inside here, you're just gonna go to universe, worlds, default, and this is the actual um, three files and folders that you need: the chunks, resources, and config. So you're just going to copy all of that, um, and you're going to go back to your mod. Inside here, instances, create a new folder for your world name. Name it test or whatever you really want. And then here you're going to paste all those three files that I just said. And then next, you're going to want to go find your Hightail install. Um, Go to release, package, game. I'm on build 2. Just hit latest. And you're going to open up assets.zip. I would recommend having something that can just open up the zip file directly so that you don't have to extract the whole assets folder just to get this one file that you need from it. Um, but you can do it however you really want to do it. This is just um, the easiest way that I found to do it. And it's gonna take a minute to load up because it's loading up a lot of stuff. Um, then once you're in here, assets.zip, you're just gonna open up server, which is also gonna take a minute because that's pretty much the whole game. And once that's loaded, what we're looking for is instances. So remember when we made that instances folder in our mod? That's basically mimicking this instances folder that is, you know, in the game by default. Um, and we're modding in a new instance. So we're just going to open up instances. And you can go to any one of these. The one I'm going to go to is just default. And the thing that you want is instance.bson. So go ahead and copy that and go back to your mod folder. So in your mod folder, you're just going to paste it right in. And now this is where it gets into a bit of coding, but trust me, it's super simple. So all you're going to do is go into your config for your world. This is all the data for the world that you want to be made into an instance. You're going to copy every single thing in here, including brackets, including everything. Copy everything and just close that. And then you're going to open up instance.bson. Now in here, this is information about the instance. So here we can basically just delete everything and paste in our world data. And I'm getting a ton of errors, so I'm going to go back. Make sure you leave the first and last bracket, or else you're going to get a lot of errors. So now that that's done, we go to File, Save All, and now our instance data is our new world that we want to be an instance on our server. So we're just going to close that, and now we have an instance inside our mods folder, which is inside our server folder, which means that when we run our server, go ahead and run your server, and once the server is up and running, we can go ahead and find that in game. So our server booted up successfully, which is good. That means um, there's zero issues, everything's working fine. Go onto your server, go ahead and log on. And you'll be on your server. And then what you're going to want to do, let's say you're on your server and you're in survival, so you're in this game mode. The keybind for switching game modes is by default is O. So just hit O and then hit tab to open up your inventory. You're going to want to go to Creative Tools, World, Instances, and it's going to be all the way at the bottom. So you can go through all the default instances, and at the bottom are my two modded instances that are now modded into the game. So this one that we made together, test, we're just going to click on that and click spawn. So as you can see, this is the world that we just had. It is my single player world, my single player creative world, and yeah, so whichever world you put in is going to be the world that you're going to spawn into. And it's going to look just like this. Everything should be just fine. Um, and yeah, and so you're going to spawn just where you spawned by default in that world. What you're going to want to do now, actually I'm going to show you what happens when you open up an instance in a server. So if we go over back to our server, and we go over to universe and worlds, you can see now that we have the default server, well, the default server's world, which is right here at the top. I renamed it. And now we also have instance dash test dash blah 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 blah. It actually created a whole world for our instance. So let's say we wanted this instance to be like a map on in a PvP game. It would create a world, um, and then what you would probably do is have it have a time limit, and then after that time limit's up, delete that world. Um, and what would happen is you still have the instance of the world because that's modded into your game, but you deleted that world, so it'll reset back to the unmodified instance of that world. So all the chests will be exactly the same as when the player started the game. Um, it'll just reset the whole world basically. Um, so that's how you would do like mini games, for example, with this format, with with instances. But if you want to keep your world and you don't want to delete it, and you want this exact world with all the changes you make to it, you know, place down whatever inside of your creative world, and you're like, okay, I want to go back to my SMP. How do I do that? First, before you even go back, before you do any other commands, you're gonna do slash warp set and name it whatever. So creative, creative underscore hub. So now you have your warp set here, and what that does is you can come back here, and in warps, it's essentially, it hasn't saved yet, but it should still be in the game. It'll just save after you close the server. But basically, it'll save a warp just like this. It's how the teleporters work essentially. It tells which world it's in, how it was created, and etc. etc. So with a teleporter, and yeah, so this would be you can place down a teleporter and have it take you to this to a different world with whatever name you want that to teleporter to be called. Tells you the creation date and then the data for how you're gonna spawn in, where you're gonna spawn in, and what you're looking at when you spawn in. So that's basically what that does. Um, so now that we have the warp set, we just do slash instances exit. And that's going to exit the instance and bring you back to whatever instance or world that you were previously in. Well, it brings you back to whatever world you were previously in. So you want to have like a main world and then like a main hub world with all your teleporters and have one teleporter teleport you to one world, different teleporter teleport you to a different world, and in each instance you don't want in each world other than the hub world, you don't want a teleporter in there because that'll send you to a different instance, which then you have to do instances exit twice to get back to the hub world. You only want to do it once to get back. Um, so another way you could probably exit is, let's say you have a teleporter. Let's just place one down here. And we should have our warp here. Let's just, for right now, let me stop the server and restart it and see if that saves, just so I can, just to test, because I haven't really tested this part before, to see if you can make it a teleporter warp, or how that works. So we're gonna restart our world real quick and see if it's gonna have that warp and see if we can change it so that we can access it through a teleporter. Okay, so it's not showing up there for some reason, but unexpected error. Hmm. Alright. Let me just make sure my assets is still intact. Because sometimes there's like, it should be. I mean, there was one time that the update went through and my assets like completely got messed up and I had to re-import assets for it to work. But we should be all good. Yeah, like this should be a complete assets. Let's just try running it one more time. Okay, so don't really know what had happened there, but it is working fine now. So, okay. Well, let's see what happens. So we can do /warp list to see which warps we have. And we do have one here for Creative Hub, both the test and one that I made earlier. It's just for whatever reason not showing up as that. So what we can probably do is just make the warp ourselves. We're just going to copy all of this, paste it, name it creative. World is going to be go into here, worlds, rename, copy that. That's going to be the world name. Creator teleporter, sure. Let's not specify a location and see where it, or actually, we probably have to specify a location for teleporter. Okay, so let's stop the server real quick so that we can save. We're just gonna overwrite and see. So open up the server once more. Okay, it opened up. And we're gonna see if that warp is here. It is not. Let's try it this way. /warp creative underscore hub. Hmm. Slash warp, just creative? Yeah. Okay, that's working. I'm in the middle of nowhere, but it should still be in the same world. Let's see if there is data on where we should have been warped to. Maybe in config. Yeah. Negative 91, 126, 1225. So we're gonna open up F7. Okay, we were like really, really far away. F2 is a speed up. So negative 91, 1225. I'm struggling here. Oh, it's right here. So yeah, we're in the same world. I'm not quite sure what happened with the warp. They're like warp dash dash help. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Let's just set down a teleporter. Ah, creative. Save changes. Cool. We just we warped here. Okay. Let's instances exit. Turn down with F1 so we're not going 300 miles per hour. Okay, so the warp is only so to get to a warp. Okay, I see how that works. But anyway, you can warp there with slash warp. Slash warp creative will get you between instances, the same instance, and slash instances exit will get you to your hub world, your regular world. And yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to set up teleporters for that too, between worlds, if that's even possible. But for now, that's basically all you have to know about it. And yeah, that's how you set up multiple worlds.